You want to make the strongest character, and you also want to make the most effective decisions during your games. And that all starts with picking the best familiar if you have access to this. I know so many of you are going to be like, the owl is the best pick, but I'm telling you, it's really not. It's the easiest pick. When you step outside and try something new, which is the point of this video and all the games and all the other stuff I talk about, is trying something new will make you a better player because it's going to make you try to like think outside the box, try new things, and really work with the team. So I want to give you the top 3 best familiars you're not using. Let's go. First up is the Raven. It has 50 fly speed, a little bit of HP, and the AC is meh. And of course, the attack is also meh. But the familiars aren't here to dish out the damage, at least for the most part. The Raven has a very specific ability, and that is the Mimic ability. It can do simple sounds and things. So if you are creative, use it to scout. Like you go into your trance and you see through the eyes, you move around. But you could pick up maybe passwords or other very simple things. Or my favorite is make a distraction of a person's voice, right? Maybe yelling or screaming, because it's not a full sentence, it's just a sound. So if they can mimic that person's voice, make a distraction in the distance, that will lure people away. I just think this is a great creative idea, and rarely, actually only one time have I ever seen a player use the Raven, and it was all the time it was being used. And I was like, yeah, dude, go for it. I want to see what happens. I want to see how this turns out. Just saying, man, I think the Raven is very underutilized, and I think it's a great pick. At the DM's discretion, you can swap out the Weasel for the Arctic Stinking Squirrel, which is the exact same thing as the Weasel. All the things are the exact same, except for it gets Stinking Cloud, which is a 3rd level spell. Now, let me just say this. The DC is low, but regardless, your familiar's getting a 3rd level spell. That's great, right? Let's go over what the Stinking Cloud can do for you. The takeaways from this spell, in short, is it creates a 20-foot radius sphere. Everything inside the cloud is heavily obscured, which is awesome. And then every creature that starts its turn in the cloud must make a con save or lose their turn. I have never had anyone ever take this familiar, and I honestly don't know why. Maybe it's the DC, it's low, I think it's about an 11, but overall, this, you get a 3rd level spell, and I know at higher levels the con save is going to be pretty meh, but I still get to obscure an entire area. So you could combo this with your team, throw up this, do a different thing like thaumaturgy, make the smell or some sound. You could just combo this with so many different ways, and it's just so much utility and support. I love it. The last pick on here is something no one has ever used at my table. I've never even seen anyone use this. Maybe because it's banned, I'm not sure. You will never pick the owl ever again. You will now go with the flying monkey. Reason 1, it's got thumbs, which are always great, and it can use items, which makes option 2 huge. Using items lets it use magic items. I think this is so powerful. Yo, give that monkey, go to like a spell shop and give that monkey a magic missile wand and just fire off. This is extremely powerful. It can do potions. It can do so much. It's not like condensed down to like, oh, I have this little talon bird and he's squawking around, or I have an octopus, or I have this. No, dude. It can do things. It can open doors. It has all these great abilities. Its strength score sucks. It's like a 6. For me personally, I would honestly let the monkey, if you could like train it well. I mean, it's a familiar, so I guess it wouldn't matter, but you could give it a crossbow or something. I know there's some caveats to that rule, but I would probably homebrew that. I'm like, yeah, go for it. And I just think of Wizard of Oz. You put like a little Roman helmet on that guy and you let him fly around. The only way to balance that out is you have to target down the monkey. But I mean, overall, that is so powerful. Oh, there's a part 2 to this little monkey, right? This flying monkey can carry you. So if you're like a goblin or a halfling, you could just have a flying monkey backpack. You might want to talk about this at 0 session with your DM, because they're like, dude, I had no idea. I mean, I mean, that's the DM. He's got to approve you to use this. But honestly, I would let it happen. It just sounds so cool. You got your little monkey. He's got a little Roman hat on. You're just flying around, like dodging stuff. It just sounds so cool. I can think of so many interesting ways to make this happen. Like, you could give the monkey a potion of growth and make it bigger, possibly. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. Or just shrink people down. I mean, I don't know, man. There's just so many interesting ways to use this familiar. I want to give you a little bonus here. There's a gelatinous ice cube you can use. It has a lot more HP. I think it has the most HP out of all the familiars. Its movement speed is extremely limited, but the best thing about the gelatinous cube is it can squeeze and get down to like various tight places. But because of the fact it has very small movement, to me, what I would do is I would put my little jelly, my ooze guy, in a bottle, and I would just chuck him into places to open things if he couldn't get in, or if it was too high up, because he doesn't have a climb speed. But I could just put the ooze in a bottle and toss this guy into windows to unlock doors and things. I just think that'd be very funny, and I just want to mention that. If you guys have any tips or changes or some homebrew stuff, let me know. I love to incorporate what you guys have at my table, and I hope it works both ways. If you like the artwork, you can get everything I have or what you've seen on Patreon, such as portraits, token borders, maps. I will help you write one-shots and stories and all that cool stuff. If you want to go to Etsy and just pick and choose what you want, you can go there. But Patreon will give you the best deal, because for one price, you can get everything you want. So hopefully you guys had a good time, and I will see you in the next video. See you later.